Okay, so in this lesson, the objective is to talk about the distance formula, the midpoint formula, and the Pythagorean theorem. So let's say I wanted to find the distance between J and D. J and D. How would I go about doing that? Well, first thing I want to do is I want to connect a line that joins J to D. So let's see if we can do that here. Connect a line that joins J to D. I'll try and make this as straight as we can. Not too bad. Okay. Now we know the ordered pairs for D, they're 5 and 9. And for J, excuse me, is 0 and 3. Now it doesn't matter which one we call x1, y1. So I will say x1, y1. And I'll call this x2, y2. Now, once we've selected those, it's just time to use the distance formula now. So the way that this is going to be written is you're going to see D and J and nothing else, and that means the distance. So we calculate the distance, the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. All right. Now, 5 minus 0 is 5, so this is 5 squared. 9 minus 3 is 6, so this is 6 squared. And now the job is to square the numbers. So 5 squared is 25. 6 squared is 36. Let's now add the numbers, 25 and 36. That's 61. So here's the exact answer right here. This is the exact answer, the square root of 61. But what if I want this to the nearest tenth? Okay, well then I'm going to plug that into a calculator, and then I'm going to take it to the nearest tenth. So the square root of 61 is 7.8 approximately. So here's the approximate answer, and here's the exact answer. So that's how you calculate distance. Now we want to calculate midpoint. So let's find the midpoint, if we can, between J and between B. J and B. Here we go. Not too bad. Okay. Where is the midpoint? Well, J is located at 0, 3, and B is located at -6, -8. Now the midpoint is an ordered pair. So what I do, I'll call this midpoint M. And what I do is I add the x values and divide by 2. I average them. 0 plus -6 divided by 2. Comma, 3 plus -8 divided by 2. All right, 0 plus -6 is -6. -6 divided by 2 is -3. 3 plus -8 is -5. -5 divided by 2 is -2.5. So now I have found the midpoint. So I go left 1, 2, 3, and down 2.5. There's the midpoint, M. So now I want to find the distance using the Pythagorean theorem. So let's say I want to find AB. I want to find the distance from A, and I want to go to B. So here's A. Here's A, and I want to go straight to B. There we go. All right. Now, to do the Pythagorean theorem, we have to create a right triangle. So I go straight down. And then from here, I go straight over. Okay. Now this is what I want to know. This is my hypotenuse right here, AB. This distance, what I do is I count. So if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this is 15 units long. This is 2 units long. 15 and 2 are the legs of the triangle. And so the way that the Pythagorean theorem works, excuse me, is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now, c has to be the hypotenuse. I can't just choose whatever I want. So that's my AB. That's my length of AB. I can choose whether 2 is A and 15 is B, or I could switch those up. That part doesn't matter. So what I'm going to write here is that 15 squared plus 2 squared equals AB squared. Now 15 squared is 225. 2 squared is 4. And that's AB squared. This is 229. So that means that AB is the square root of 229. And let's find that to the nearest tenth. The square root of 229 is approximately 15.1. So that's how you calculate the distance using the distance formula, the midpoint using the midpoint formula, and the Pythagorean theorem. God bless you, wherever you are today.